Recently, this site was featured as Site of the Day by GSAP, and the moment I scrolled through it, I was impressed. The whole thing opens with this really nice scroll-driven sequence on the hero. The background eases out of a slow zoom, a thin colored slit appears in the middle of the screen, opens up vertically, and then expands out to cover everything. From there, a few images cascade in one after another, finishing with a panel of text that holds for a moment and then splits cleanly down the middle and slides apart to reveal the next section underneath. It is one of those effects where every piece is simple on its own, but the way they are layered and timed makes the whole thing feel really cool. So naturally, I decided to recreate my own version of it. As you can see here, it follows the same idea, top to bottom, all of it tied directly to the scroll. The technique behind it is straightforward. Everything is driven by a single GSAP timeline pinned to the hero, with ScrollTrigger and Lenny's handling the scroll, and most of the magic comes from animating clip paths and scales at the right moments. If you'd like to grab the source code for this project, along with hundreds of other similar micro projects, and a brand new website template every month, you can check out the Pro membership via the link in the description. And if you find my work helpful, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, let's get into the code. The markup here is pretty simple, just two sections stacked top to bottom, the hero, where the whole effect plays out, and the about section right below it. Most of the work happens inside the hero, so we'll build it up one layer at a time. First, the background. I'll add a div with a class of HeroBG and drop an image inside it. This is the photo you see when the page loads, the one that slowly scales out as you start scrolling. Next, the headline. I'll add another div with a class of hero content with an h1 inside it for the opening line. This is the text that sits over the background until the colored panel sweeps in and covers it. Then, the revealer. I'll add a div with a class of hero revealer and leave it completely empty. Nothing to see inside because it is just a colored panel we'll animate using clip path. Right now it is hidden as a tiny line in the middle of the screen, but soon it is going to sweep across everything. Now the cascading images. I will add a wrapper div with a class of hero images, and inside it 3 more divs with a class of hero image, each holding its own image. These are the 3 photos that grow in one after another during the cascade. Then the closing panel. I'll add one more div with a class of hero outro content with an h1 inside it for the closing line. This is the panel that holds for a beat before splitting in half and sliding apart. Later in the script, we'll actually duplicate this element so we end up with 2 stacked copies that can open up. And finally the about section. I'll drop a div inside it with a class of about-content holding an h3 and a paragraph. Nothing fancy, just the section that scrolls in once the hero is done. And that is all for the markup. Now let's get to the styling. First, the housekeeping. I'll pull in the font, set up a few color variables so we can reuse them everywhere, then do a quick reset to clear the default margins and padding and switch to border box sizing. Then I'll set that font on the body and give it a light background color, which is the color you see behind the about section later on. Next, images. I'll add a quick rule so they fill their space and cover it properly since we have a few of them across the hero. Then the headings and paragraph. All of them get uppercased, set bold, with the line height pulled in tight. The headings scale fluidly so they look right on any screen, and the paragraph just gets a small fixed size. Now the hero. The section itself fills the entire screen, with overflow hidden so nothing spills outside during the animations, and I'll give it a higher Z index than the about section so the hero always sits on top. Then the layers inside the hero, the background, the content, the revealer, and the images wrapper all need to fill the hero completely, sitting in the top left corner and stretching across. So I'll group them together and pin them to that position with absolute. Then the individual images and the closing panel need to be centered in this section instead. So I'll group those together, anchor them to the middle, and start them at scale 0 so they are invisible until the timeline scales them up. Then the shared look between the headline and the closing panel. Both of them center their text, both use the same light color for the text, and both keep their heading at a comfortable width so it wraps nicely. So I'll group those rules together too. Then the pieces that are unique to each layer. The background starts slightly zoomed in, so when we scale it out on scroll, there is somewhere to ease back to. The revealer gets the warm red color and a clip path that hides it as a tiny line in the middle of the screen, ready to open up. The closing panel gets that same red background, and each hero image starts with its clip path collapsed to a single point in the center, so it can grow outward when we reveal it. Then the about section.
It fills the screen, gets the light background and dark text, and sits below the hero with a big margin on top. That margin is the room the hero needs to scroll through while it is pinned. We'll set the pin distance in the script in a moment, and this margin is what gives the page enough room for that scrolling to happen. And last, a small media query that widens the headings and the about content on smaller screens, so things hold up on mobile. That is the styling done. Now let's start building the actual effect.
At the top, I'll bring in everything we need. First GSAP, which is going to drive all of our animation. Then ScrollTrigger, which lets us tie animation to the scroll position. Then Lennis for smooth scrolling. And then one quick line to register the ScrollTrigger plugin, so GSAP knows about it before we start using it. Next, I'll wrap everything inside a DOM content loaded listener. We are about to reach into the page and grab elements, so we want to be sure the page is fully ready before any of that runs. Everything from here on lives inside this. First thing inside the smooth scroll setup, I'll create a new Lennis instance, then tell ScrollTrigger to update every time Lennis scrolls, so the two always agree on where we are on the page. Then I'll hand Lennis over to GSAP's own ticker, so they run on the same clock, and turn off lag smoothing so nothing stutters on a slow frame. This is my standard Lennis and GSAP setup, and it gives us that buttery scrolling for free. Now the DOM references, I'll grab everything the timeline is going to animate, the hero section itself, the background, the headline content, the revealer, the images wrapper, the 3 images inside it, and the closing panel. I like keeping all of these at the top in one block, so anytime we need to reach for something later, we know exactly where it lives. Then the outro split. Remember how I mentioned in the markup that we duplicate this element? This is where that happens. I'll clone the closing panel completely, give the original a class of hero outro left, give the clone a class of hero outro right, and drop the clone into the page right next to the original. So now we have 2 stacked copies sitting on top of each other, both holding the same text. Then I'll clip each one to show only one half. The left copy gets a clip path that reveals only its left side, and the right copy gets a clip path that reveals only its right side. Together they look like a single panel, but they are actually 2 halves waiting to slide apart. And while we are here, I'll also bring the images wrapper back to a normal scale, since our shared CSS rule has it sitting at scale 0, and we want its children to be the ones animating, not the wrapper itself. Now the heart of it, the scroll trigger. I'll create a timeline and pin it to the hero section. I'll stretch it across 7 full screens of scrolling, so we have plenty of room for everything to breathe. I'll pin the section so it locks to the screen while the effect plays. Turn off pin spacing because the about section's big margin is already giving us that scroll distance, and turn on scrub so everything is tied directly to the scroll position. Scrub is the key here. It means nothing plays on its own. It all moves exactly as fast as you scroll. Then one small flag, invalidate on refresh, so if the page resizes, the timeline recalculates cleanly. Next, we'll start adding the actual phases to this timeline, one at a time. The whole thing is laid out on a 0 to 1 scale, where 0 is the moment the hero hits the top of the screen, and 1 is the moment the pin releases. Every tween from here on just sits somewhere on that scale. First, the background. I'll animate it from its slightly zoomed in starting scale down to a normal scale of 1. This one plays across the first half of the scroll from 0 to 0.5, so the background slowly scales out in place while other things start happening on top. Next, the revealer. It is sitting in the middle of the screen as a tiny invisible line right now. I'll animate its clip path so that line stretches vertically into a thin slit that runs the full height of the screen. This one plays right at the start from 0 to 0.2, so the slit appears almost as soon as you scroll. Then the second half of the revealer's move. I'll animate its clip path again, this time widening it horizontally until the colored panel covers the entire screen. This one picks up exactly where the previous one ended, running from 0.2 to 0.5. So the slit appears in the first 20%, widens out across the next 30, and by the halfway point the whole screen is covered. Now the cascade. Before we get into the actual tweens, I'll pull 3 numbers out into their own constants. The cascade kicks off at 0.4, which is just before the revealer finishes, so the 2 phases overlap a little and feel connected. The stagger between each image is small, just a hair, so they stack tightly, and the duration is short too, so each image grows in quickly. Keeping these together at the top makes it easy to tweak the timing later without hunting through the code. Then the loop itself. For each of the 3 hero images, I'll animate its clip path open from a single point in the center and at the same time scale it up from 0 to 1. Each one starts a small offset after the previous, so they overlap heavily as they grow in. The first one kicks off at 0.4 and the rest follow right behind. That gives you the cascading feel, where they appear one after another instead of all at once.
then the closing panel, which is really the fourth step in that same cascade. I'll animate it from scale 0 to 1 with the same duration as the images and start it half a stagger later than the last image. That tiny extra gap gives the panel a beat of separation, so it feels like the panel is following the images rather than being part of the same group. Now we are at 0.7, the moment everything pauses for a beat and gets ready for the split. I want the background, the headline, the revealer, and the images wrapper to all disappear instantly at this point, so the only thing left on screen is our two outro halves. I'll do this with the set instead of a 2, so it is an instant snap rather than a fade. Set is reversible during scrub too, so if you scroll back across 0.7, everything snaps right back into place without any awkward half-faded state. Then one more set at the same point. I'll change the hero's background to transparent, so as the two halves start to slide apart, the dark page background underneath shows through the gap between them, which is exactly the color we want to see. And finally the split. I'll animate the left half off to the left and the right half off to the right, both starting at 0.7 and both running until the end. Each half slides one full element width outward, opening up a gap in the middle that grows as you scroll. By the time you reach the end of the pin, the two halves are completely off screen and the about section just slides up into view to take their place. And that is the whole effect complete. As you scroll through the hero, the background zooms out, a colored slit opens up and sweeps across the screen. 3 images cascade in one after another. A closing panel slides in behind them, and then that panel splits cleanly down the middle and slides apart to reveal the next section underneath. All of it driven by one scroll, coming together into a single smooth moment. Hope you found the video helpful. See you in the next one.